So hello everyone. So I am not gonna wear this. So I am here to talk about YanYan Jump, which is on its third episode this week on Saturday. My time it's 2:30 in the morning, and I still go and wake up and watch it. I love watching it live, even though it's very blurry and it's just horrible quality. But it's perfectly fine to get what's going on. You don't get to see those cool little moments like, you know, Yabu smacking Yuto's butt and stuff like that. But, you know, it's perfectly fine. So anyway, so I decided I'm going to talk individually about Shonen Club and YanYan Jump. This one's gonna be YanYan Jump. Because I'm going to talk a lot about individual little things. I'm going to go through the process of every episode, which is first and second episode. And then I probably might do that for every episode if I'm not lazy. If I am lazy, then I will try to make a video where I catch up on them, which means I hopefully do not go through like 10 episodes and have to go and update on all of them. So, and I'm going to put it on my main channel because there's no point in going to my second channel because it's just difficult to change back and forth with my email. So anyway, first of all, if you guys do not know me and you're first watching this, I am Nana. Well, that's the nickname I go by. I go by another name. If you ever find me on Facebook, or if I find you on Facebook and you're like, oh my god, I know who you are on YouTube. I've had that happen before. I just randomly add person and she said she knew me on YouTube, and I was like, really? Yeah, I am YouTube famous, and not really. So anyway, first of all, first episode of YanYan Jumping is now subtitled on YY Jumping. Did I say YanYan Jumping? YanYan Jump. Anyway, on YY Jumping Live Journal, which is it's YY Jumping without the G on Live Journal. I think normally if you type in YY space jumping, you'll find the YouTube or the Live Journal, but you have to be a member to be able to download their videos, and please do not upload them onto any type of streaming sites. I mean, go through the process of becoming a member, and do not give the links out to the individual download things. Please just redirect people to the download site. Anyway, so first episode of the YanYan Jump. Almost saying jumping. Let's see. First of all, the beginning of it was they had them sing like Casey Jump melody. They had them sing random stuff. And then they had the juniors dancing with them. And then they had them play handball, street handball, which is similar to basketball, but basketball you keep dribbling the ball, and this you kind of just dribble and then throw it, which I think is just an easy game. It's like the most easiest game you could ever play. Maybe-ish. And then you try to get into the goal, which is like a soccer goal instead of a basket hoop. And so you kind of just pass it to each other, and then they get into the ball, into the gate thing, goal. So anyway, then, first of all, they had different groups. They had a blue team, red team, yellow team, and green team, I think. Yeah. I know that Takaki was the leader of the blue team, and the other Hasty Jump members in there were Chinan, and I think that was it. Chinan, and then they had a whole bunch of juniors. And then they went against the red team? No, not the red team. They went against the red team. Yeah, because Yamato was on the red team because Yabu, no. Hikaru was the leader of the red team, and Yamato was along with Hikaru on that team. So yeah, they played against each other, and red won. Then the next one was like yellow against green, I think. and yellow had the leader was Yabu and no Daiki, and they had okay, I'm trying to think through memory. Daiki was leader of yellow team and had Ino, and who else was on the yellow team? Okay, anyway, the green team had Yabu as the leader, and they had Ryutaro and Yuto. Does that would mean? See, Yabu, Takaki was on blue, Hikaru was on red, Daiki was, Ino was on yellow. I totally did that wrong. Daiki was on yellow. Yeah, oh, Kaito was on. Yes. I am like totally spacing out on members. You know, loving a big group, it's slightly hard to remember everyone, but you know, it's easy. So anyway, then yellow won, and it was funny because Ino had a yellow card because you know he was being mean to Yabu, trying to make him mess up. Bet you. And then the next section, it was because every episode of YY Jump or YanYan Jump is only 30 minutes long, so half the episode was the first the first two games of handball, and then the next part was Pressure 10, which is YanYan Jump members have to do something that very, you know, you have to like, oh my god, it's pressure on you. And so so they had each of the members for the first game was they had like a little box thingy, and they had to make it so that I think it was they had to make it so that only one came out of the box, or the box had one in it, because it didn't make quite much sense because they kept replacing that box into the section, but they never showed like the box disappear or whatever, so I don't know how that works. But basically they had to have one little pill thingy fall, and I don't know why they picked up the pill. I don't know what the pill was for. It might have been candy, I don't know, but they had to make it so that one only dropped into the plate that they had. So anyway, so they did pretty well. They were really surprised that Takagi did like so cool. He was cool when he did titties like that or whatever. He did something cool. And then it got to Ino. Ino decided he was going to fail. Well, he didn't decide. He just wound up failing. And then they all had to do the bots game, which is the punishment, where it was to drink this, I'm guessing it's bitter tea, because normally, and then they're like, oh, you gotta smile, your eyes are idols, you gotta smile even though it looks gross, kind of thing. And just some torture. So then, the next episode, they started off with Pressure 10, but they had Heisei 7 with 5 juniors. And that game was, they had a balloon, and they had a piece of duct tape on the balloon. And they had to rip the duct tape off without the balloon popping. So Keito went first, and first time he popped the balloon, and he was just hilarious. He jumped and was freaking out over the balloon popping because he just got freaked out from it. And then Cheatin says, oh, please let us try again, blah blah blah. The juniors didn't get to do it, and so Keito went again, and he almost got it done. He was almost to the end, and then pop, and he freaked out. And then they said, okay, well, you know, they're like, oh, let's see if the juniors can do it. So if you look at the balloon, they purposely put the duct tape so that it would be easy to take off. Because the kid just went, shoo, and it didn't pop. And so then after that, Yamada went up to Keito and was like, oh, you lost. And Keito was like down to the ground, like, ah, please don't hurt me. So then they had to do the punishment game. And then after that Pressure 10, they had all the members of YanYan Jump there. And they did, I could read the name, but I could never just recite the name, like right there. Shiritori, I think, Shiritori, which is basically a Japanese game where you, actually it was Awatari, I can't remember the name, but the end of the Shiritori, which basically you say, what is the part of the game is you're supposed to say a word, and then the last character of that word. So, for example, if I use, kami as in, I think, pear, and there's also God. Kami-sama is God, but kami, if you use the word kami, so you say kami, and the next person has to have their word start with me. And then, so, kami, and then mimi, which goes back to me, and then you say something else with me. And so it goes on until the end of the game, where the end of the game, when you end the game, you use, because there's no way you could have that same character, n, at the end, and go on to the beginning of the next word, because there's no words that begin with n. So, but this was like the ending of a game. So, whatever, they'll say a word on the show, and then they're supposed to say blah blah blah, and then there has to be an at the end. So Takaki went first, and he totally did it. I think Yuto went next, and he totally did it. Then Ino went up, and he decided to purposely fail. And so then Chinan went and bowed, and they all bowed. They all went to the ground and bowed. And so they did again, and Takaki totally failed. So then they had to do the bots game. And then they had the handball again. The last between yellow and red. Yeah, yellow and red. And I actually haven't rewatched that since it was shown, because I'm waiting for a better quality or subtitles on it, because I am too lazy to watch it again. But I heard there's some interesting things. Little tiny things of stuff that people have told me that happened in either YanYan. First YanYan, there was oh yeah, when Blue lost to Red, Yamato decided he was going to do a flying butt hit. So like he jumps up in the air and hits his butt, because he's like, oh booyah, I totally beat you guys, kind of thing. When Yellow went against Green, Daiki almost ran into every Heisei Jump member on the green team. He went past Yabu, he went past Yuto, like almost stepped on Yuto. Then he goes and runs into Rutaro, and Rutaro went flying. So like there's like a small little moment, it's like only like 2 seconds long, of him almost running into all the members on the green team that were in Heisei Jump. I didn't notice that until my friend told me about him running to Rutaro, and then I was like, oh really? And so I was looking for that video, and then I found him. He went zoom, and then steps on Yuto, and then goes and takes the ball and throws it, and then goes boom, and then Rutaro went ah, and he didn't even go and like say us, like, you know when someone hits and someone, they push their hand out like, oh I'm sorry. No, he totally just went on, and I bet you afterwards he was like, either that or they totally forgot about it. You know, because, you know, guys totally forget things. Yeah. So that was me talking about YanYan YanYan Jump. Hopefully next week I will remember to tell you about the 3rd episode. So yeah. Bye-bye.